you have idea of the database and OLTP system and OLAP system? Do you have any idea of it?
I have general knowledge about databases.
Okay.
Because even my programming experience is dated. So.
Okay. Okay. Then let us start from scratch itself. Then
I think that would be great. Yeah.
You can easily understand it. What is the BPC system? How it works, and what is where we can use it. Means which clients generally they prefer, why they are preferring now the BPC.
Yeah.
In fact, if you look at the SAP system, there you can find two kinds of systems. One is OLAP system, OLTP system, online transaction processing system. This is
right.
Just everyday postings. Everyday postings we maintain here.
Mm-hmm.
As we know that if every day or weekly ones, if you try to generate the reports, obviously it will touch the OLTP system. It means it will try to fetch the data from the DB itself. So it is a real-time DB. So it is not at all feasible for the users. In fact, sometimes it may fetch some wrong data also. If you generate the reports on the OLTP system regularly.
Uh-huh.
So these SL people, what they have done, they have developed the other system, that is the OLAP system. That is the common system. In fact, even in all the ERP vendors, they will maintain these two systems. That is OLAP system. This is only analysis purpose.
Uh-huh.
Analysis processing system. This is.
Okay, so OLAP stands for online analysis.
Yes, exactly.
Processing.
Online analysis processing system.
Okay.
In simple words, you can call it as data warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
So just it is a data warehouse. The data warehouse manager, what it will do, if you send any request, based on the request, he will give us some information in particular format. The same thing data warehouse also works. The OLTP system, everyday transactions like payments or receivables, they will enter in this OLTP system.
Mm-hmm.
So, the SAP system, say example for this OLTP system, ECC, SAP ECC system is the OLTP system.
Uh-huh.
SAP BW system is data warehouse system.
Right. And what does ECC stand for?
Enterprise Central Component.
Oh, okay.
Previously it used to call R3. I think you know of it.
Right, yeah.
R3 4.7. Later they have upgraded to the ECC. Now it is the ECC 6.0 version.
Okay.
And BW, the current version is 7.3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in fact, at the OLTP level also, the customer, they post the everyday transactions. So today's transactions is tomorrow's historical data. The actuals, today's actuals, tomorrow's historical data.
Mm-hmm.
So all the historical data, what they want to do, they want to keep into the BW system regularly.
Right.
so that the pressure on the OLTP system will be reduced and they can access the real-time data also with much more performance.
Mm-hmm.
In that perspective, the customers, in fact, they have implemented the BW system also, and because of a lot of advantages like dimension modeling, that's why they have implemented the BW system. And now the customers accessing the reports from the BW system only.
Uh-huh.
But here, the customers are facing one risk with the BW system. That is, it always shows historical data. Because suppose if I post something in the ECC system, I have to extract the data to the BW.
Right.
So every day the clients generally they extract the data at the end of the day. Some clients it means it depending on the requirement, it depending on the availability of the data they need.
Mm-hmm.
Some systems, say HR systems, weekly once they upload and maintain the data in BW system. Sales data every day at the end of the day they have to upload into the BW system.
Right.
So, from the BW system, they are accessing or they can access only historical data.
Mm-hmm.
But we know every customer has to make some plans, like they have to make the budget plans, they have to make the forecast plans of the sales and inventory and HR resources, so that they have to generate the balance sheets on the planned versions, and they have to generate the profit and loss statements based on the planned versions. So this kind of stuff they can't do on the BW system.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why even the EC system also will not support that to that much of extent for the planning purpose. In fact, in the EC system, you can do one thing, that is cost center planning, profit center planning. Some plannings you can do at the ECC level.
Mm-hmm.
Like investment planning also you can do it. And they have included one consolidation concept, that is ECCS at the ECC level itself. Planning consolidation and actual consolidation. As we know that this is the OLTP system, every time we can't touch the DB to
Right.
access the data. But here the BW system, it will allow only the historical data. It means, it will allow means like that they have developed first, the BW system, just as in the perspective of the data warehouse system. But in the market, it means the customers, they use spreadsheets to maintain the plan data.
Mm-hmm.
And consolidation on the plan data. Again, they have to upload this plan data to the BW system. So it is a time-consuming process. Every time they have to load the plan data also to the BW system.
Right.
Why? Because the BW system is not allowed to post the data onto it.
Mm-hmm.
Where ECC system allows to post the data onto it. Initially, that is the basic difference between the BW and ECC.
Mm-hmm.
Later, they have realized that and they have included one concept in the BW system. That
Hello? Hello? We have lost the audio. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, sorry for this network problem.
Okay.
So here in the BW system, we maintain info cubes generally.
Mm-hmm.
Info cubes will hold the master data, transaction data. It means daily transactions we maintain in the info cube. In fact, that info cube is not allowed to post the data onto it. So these SIO people, they have developed a concept that is the real-time info cube. It means the real-time data you can post onto it directly. It means by defining a cube as the real-time info cube, that info cube is allowed to write the data onto it.
Mm-hmm.
So the real-time info cube now holds the real-time data. Along with the historical data, it can hold the real-time data also. Here real-time data means plant data or actual data itself.
Right.
But actuals, in fact, were maintaining at the ECC level, so there is no need to maintain the actuals again at the BW level using the real-time info cube.
Mm-hmm.
Only plant data we need to maintain, we have to maintain, so that we can compare the actuals with the plant data easily on the BW system level itself.
Okay.
Now, using the ECC system, any ERP system, to post the data, we need an interface. Suppose this Excel sheet itself is an interface. Simply
Right.
I can post the data. Say Mahesh, sales, simply 1,000 I can post.
Mm-hmm.
So one interface I need to post the data so that this data will go and sit in my backend tables. Now the SIO people, they need an interface. user interface to pull the data onto this real-time info queue.
Right.
So what they have done, they have developed different planning applications. The first one is the SEM, Strategic Enterprise Management. There they have included business planning and simulation, business consolidation system, and some other components like CPM, business information collection. These are the components they have included, like stakeholder relationship management. These 5 components they have included in the SEM. This is the planning tool. If the customer wants, they can purchase only SAP BPC system.
Right.
If the customer wants consolidation, they can purchase it. If the customer wants only CPM, corporate performance measurement, like management cockpits, they can build, like balance scorecards, they can build using this CPM.
Okay.
So they can purchase this component. Like that they have developed. So now, even after developing this SEM system, there the customers has found one major drawback, that there is no integration between the planning and consolidation.
Right.
Planning interface is different from the consolidation interface. So first of all, the planners, they have to complete their planning session, then they have to upload the plan data into the system. These consolidation users, again, they will work on different user interface. Even the reports, for the reporting structure, again they have to use the BW system. So the planning and the BPS and BCS are perfect tools, but just because of there is no integration between these two systems, the SEM component has been failed in the market.
Right.
So these people later they have developed another thing, that is integrated planning. Just simply a planning. A planning tool it is, simply a planning. The customers have purchased this planning tool for the planning purpose. Just this integrated planning is also as interface only. Using this interface, we connect to this real-time info queue, get the data, or you connect it to the basic info queue from the IP. You connect it to the basic info queue, get the data into the IP. It means getting the data into the IP means just access the data, then you push it into real-time info queue, so that you can write the data onto the real-time info queue. Once you connect to the basic info cube and once you connect to the real-time info cube, you can access the actual data from the basic info cube. Then by comparing the actuals, you can post the plan data to the real-time info cube. Now this is the plan tool only. They need a tool that can be useful for the planning and consolidation. So these people have purchased, as you know, Outlook Soft from the Microsoft people. The Outlook Soft, the initial version is 5.1. By the time these people have purchased this Outlook Soft from the Microsoft, this Outlook Soft, in fact, as I said, every planning tool is a interface. Why we are calling it as interface means we won't store any data in the planning tools.
Right.
Somewhere the data will be stored. Using this interface, we will fetch the data. In this interface, we will enter the data. We do some business calculations. Again, we post this data to the backend tables. So that can be done using the Outlook Soft. Say this is nothing but one Excel sheet. Here I will enter my plan data 1000. I am not satisfied with this planned figure. I will enter 2000. Simply I am overwriting this data.
Right.
So this is nothing but a plan. This is nothing but a writing. or overwriting. Using this Excel sheet, in this Outlook soft, using this Excel sheet, they have developed a planning tool and consolidation tool. In fact, Microsoft did. By the time the backend is the backend was the SQL server.
Mm-hmm.
So using the backend SQL server, these people have developed the Outlook soft. Now SAP has purchased it one. Now they tried to integrate this Outlook soft with the BW system. Well, connecting this Outlook soft to the BW system, they have enhanced this Outlook soft to many versions. They have released many versions like 7.5. They renamed it to the BPC 7.5. But one thing here we need to remember that every version they have maintained NetWeaver and Microsoft version. Two versions they have maintained.
Okay.
Why? Because almost all the lot of the customers already using the Outlook soft. So they want to continue with the Outlook soft. That's why just they made these SL people. They have made some changes in the MS version. They have continued the MS version. In the NetWeaver version, they tried to integrate with the BW system instead of the SQL system. The backend for the Microsoft version, the backend is the SQL.
Mm-hmm.
For the NetWeaver version, the backend is the data warehouse, BW system.
Right.
That is the major difference we can see between the NetWeaver and Microsoft version. Even the 7.0 also, there are 7.0 NetWeaver version also, there are a lot of lapses. So they have released another version that is 7.5 NetWeaver. And while releasing this one, again they have released 7.5 Microsoft version. It is also some issues with the interfaces, some issues with the reporting, like building the reporting is some kind of cumbersome process in BPC 7.5.
So when was 7.5 released?
Around 2 years back.
2 years.
This has been released in 2008.
Okay.
Then 2009 or in the beginning of 10 they have released this one. 2011 they have released the BPC 10. Microsoft version. Again they have released.
Mm-hmm.
So now the current version is BPC 10 NetWeaver version and BPC 10 Microsoft version. For this BPC 7.5, BW 7.0 version will support as the backend. But for the BPC 10, BW 7.3 version only will support.
Mm-hmm.
And the BPC 10 is HANA version also available in the market.
What is HANA?
It is hyper analysis, in fact. In-memory database. It is a database and a modeling. In fact, this is the data warehouse we are talking about.
Right.
For this data warehouse system, there is a backend DB that is SQL or Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
For the BW also, there is a backend DB is the SQL or Oracle.
Right.
Now these SAP people, they have developed their own database that is called HANA and now they are replacing the SQL and Oracle with the HANA database.
Oh.
And it supports in-memory.
Mm-hmm.
It supports in-memory, so that what the thing will do, the system will extract the data and it puts the data into the in-memory stage. Based on it, you can analyze the data. It means you can analyze the real-time data very quickly. Every time, no need to post to the, no need to extract the data to the BW stage, no need to analyze the data on the past data.
Right.
Using the HANA system, just you can simply access the real-time data. Why? Because the postings directly will come and sit in the in-memory DB. So now the BPC 10 version, it supports the BW 7.3, and BW 7.3 will sit on the HANA DB. Previously, it sits on the SQL and Oracle. Now the clients are moving to the HANA. So BW 7.3, once sit on the HANA, then the BPC HANA also we can develop using the HANA features.
Mm-hmm.
So there you can see the lot of changes on the BPC 10 when you compare with the BPC 7.5. Technically, you can see the user interfaces. You can see the major changes in the 7.5 and 10. One major change we can see that the BPC 10 is the web client.
Mm-hmm.
BPC 10 is the web client. There is no concept of web client. It means there is no concept of the desktop client in the BPC 10. In BPC 7.5, two versions are available. Web client is available and desktop client is also available. So they have made a lot of changes in BPC 10 so that they have integrated the BPC system tightly with the BW system.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all the history of the BPC. That is business objects, planning and consolidation. In fact, this is not the business planning and consolidation. This is the business objects, planning and consolidation.
Mm-hmm.
After purchasing this Outlook SAP, at the time these people have purchased some more components like the business objects reporting tool, business objects, data services. So these all the rest of the components, whatever they purchase from the third parties, these people have clubbed into the business objects. They started to call it as the business objects subcomponents. Business objects and consolidation, business objects universe designer, business objects webby, business objects testing, business objects data services, like that.
Mm-hmm.
They have started to call. And even in the business objects itself, they have classified once again like Enterprise Information Management System, EIM. Another thing is Enterprise Performance Management. This EIM entirely deals with the business objects, reporting tools.
Right.
This EPM entirely deals with the BPC. Finance, planning management, like strategy management, these kind of tools they have included in the EPM. Finally, this is all available in the business objects. So the customers, they can go ahead with only business objects reporting tool. Only they can purchase the reporting tools, or they can go ahead with the BPC. And again, we can integrate the BPC system with the business objects reporting tool. It means whatever the plan data and whatever the consolidated data, we can pump this data to the business objects for the reporting purpose. So there, technically, we can see the different scenarios. Here, I give you just simple
Yeah.
functional concepts of the BPC.
Mm-hmm.
From this sheet itself, we can say that this is the income statement. This is the cash flow statement.
Mm-hmm.
Let me hide this one first. Let us concentrate on income statement only. So this is my income statement. In generally the clients, they publish these kind of income statements or balance sheets every quarter.
Mm-hmm.
At the group level. Suppose the group entity, it means their subsidiaries are in different countries. The subsidiary, if it is the legal entity, then they have to
Siva is just joined.
Yeah. So, if the subsidiary is the legal entity, that legal entity also, if it is the public limited company, then that legal entity has to publish their balance sheet and their profit and loss statement every quarter. We can observe that they publish actual profit and loss statement. Along with it, they will publish projected statement also. Projected statement for the next quarter. Two statements we can see every time.
Mm-hmm.
For every quarter. That is a common business for every customer. Just if you take simple statement, income statement, the structure of the income statement only let us discuss of it. The structure of the income statement is this one. One header area you can see every time. This is called header area generally.
Mm-hmm.
Call it as header area. This is all accounts. This is the data. We are displaying the data here. Suppose the client is having 10 company code, 10 companies. They are working in different countries. So the chairman of the company or CEO of the entire organization, entire group level, for every state, for every country code or for every company code, they want to see the income statement.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to the company code here, they will click on it, they will enter another company code and they will retrieve the data. So every time, whenever the company code changes, the currency also must be changed. And they can see the actual data and planned data for any time period, either the quarterly or monthly or yearly or half yearly. And if you take the income statement, there are some fixed accounts you can see always. These fixed accounts means these are all the GL accounts. So every time we see the aggregated data, net revenue means, suppose, example I am taking, net revenue. Your net revenue may come from different sources. We won't see all the revenues from different sources in the income statement. Finally, we want to show only how much of net revenue we are getting. No need to show it in the breakdown of this net revenue. In the same way, administrative expenses. In the same way, depreciation. In the same way, operating expenses. It means here only we'll show the GL accounts where those are the aggregated accounts. And here you see on accounts. These are all the accounts. And we are telling to the system that you treat it as these are all the accounts. And amount. These are all the amounts. Under the amount I am maintaining, these are all the amounts. Very simple. Very simple statement.
Yeah.
And one more thing is, we can say that these all the accounts are having only one unit. That is the currency unit. Net revenue, you say it in particular currency. Goods sold, cost of goods sold, you say in particular currency. In any currency, but it is the currency unit. So every account will show it in the currency unit. So no need to maintain. Okay, I will come back to that point later. Now just keep in mind that here every account's unit is the same in the financial statement, that is the currency.
Yeah.
So this is my Excel sheet. This is my Excel sheet. What I am doing here, first sheet I am maintaining here. I am giving entity. Here US, UK, say India, China, Singapore. I have maintained some data. Now I am creating another sheet. Here I am maintaining all the accounts like accounts I have maintained. I am creating another one. Here what I am doing, here I will maintain category of the data. What category of the data you want to maintain? How many categories you want to maintain? I want to maintain actual data. I want to maintain budget data. I want to maintain forecast data. I want to maintain different versions, V1, V2, V3, V4. Like this, I want to maintain. And time is also required. We have seen in the income statement. So here, say 2012, Jan, it means all the quarters, 2012, say 2012, Q1, 2012, Q2 I will maintain, 2012, Q3, 2012, Q4 I will maintain. Now, under the 2012 I will maintain Jan, 2012, February, like this I will maintain. Here I am maintaining all the currencies, USD, GBP, say Euro, China, Singapore, dollars, like this I have maintained. Suppose if accountant is asked to build one income statement, what he will do? He will go to this sheet. First he will check the entities. Yes, US is there. If account is asked to prepare income statement for the US, so the accountant, what he will do? He will go to the US. Yes, he will collect all the accounts. Then he will collect What is the income statement version? Is it the actual? Is it the budget? He will collect the actual from here. Then he will collect the required period. He will collect the required currency.
Mm-hmm.
Then once he collects all the elements from these different Excel sheets, if it is the actual, they will collect the actual data. They will collect the actual data. Then they display the actual data to the CEO. This is the process generally works. If CEO asks to submit the income statement for Japan, if CEO asks submit the income statement for the Japan, so blindly he can't prepare the income statement for the Japan. Why? Because first he go for the entity, he will check here Japan is not there. Simply he will tell that yes, Japan is not our entity. Why? Because here we are maintaining the master data. We can simply call it as the master data. We are maintaining all the masters in the entity. All the companies are maintaining in the entity folder. First he will go to the entity folder. This folder name itself entity say. So he will go to the entity, he will see Japan is not there, so simply he can tell it. Or he go to the accounts, the sheet name is accounts. If CEO asks to submit the depreciation of US, only depreciation he has asked, okay, simply he can submit it. If CEO asks intercompany payables for the US, he will check intercompany payables here. It is not available, so he can tell to the CEO. It means first the accountant will check the availability of that particular record, availability of the master data. The accountant first will check availability of the master data. If the master data is available, then he can submit the record, or otherwise simply he can say no. In the same way, based on this scenario, I am renaming these dimensions. This is category. This one is time. This one is currency. So 5 Excel sheets I have maintained. 5 Excel sheets I have maintained. Just to build this income statement, I need these 5 Excel sheets. I have to maintain these 5 Excel sheets. From each and every Excel sheet, I am collecting the required master data. Then I will enter the data here. Other than these 5 dimensions, other than these 5 Excel sheets, anything is required to build this kind of income statement? No, not at all required. That's why these SAP people, just they have used the concept of the Microsoft itself, Microsoft SQL Server concept itself. Why? Because in fact the BPC system has come from the Outlook Soft version. So they have simply carried forward the concepts of the Outlook Soft, and they have named it as entity Excel sheet as the entity Excel sheet. I'm talking of Excel sheet. entity Excel sheet, they have started to call it as the dimension. This is one dimension. Entity is a dimension. In fact, in the SQL system, there is a concept dimension. Dimension also holds the data. What data it holds? Holds only master data. Here, what is the master data? Simply master data is nothing but an object and its description, you can say. Object and its description. How do you describe that object? The object, what are the properties of it? This is all the master data. So that's why they started to call it as the dimension. This is entity is a dimension, accounts is a dimension, sheet, let us say sheet. For better understanding purpose, I'm calling it as a dimension sheet now. Category is a dimension sheet, time is also a dimension sheet, currency is also a dimension sheet. Once I group all these 5 dimension sheets, then I can build this kind of income statement. So now I'm replacing this sheet with the name of application model. How I can build this application or model? If I can collect these 5 dimension sheets, then only I can build this kind of model or application. Just from the Excel concepts itself, we are building the BPC system. Because this is basically the Microsoft product. That's why I'm using only the Excel concepts first. In the view of Excel sheet, how do we build a model? So based on this scenario, these SAP people I have hired this. Here you see cash flow, documents of a dimension.
What I meant was, let's say, if you take currency, under currency of grade GBP or USD and all, what are they called? Are they master data or are they, what are they called?
Yes, that's what I said. Here in BPC, we call it as the members.
Members, okay.
In BPC, we call it as the members, dimension members. So here, somewhere, so this is the application model. It is also one more cash flow statement. We are seeing it.
Siva, can you mute your microphone?
Here, I'm building cash flow statement. Here, rename it to the cash flow model. Here is also, there are some accounts you see here that are not related to the income statement. The cash flow model, here you see some of the accounts. These accounts are not shown in income model. Suppose if I show this all the accounts in the account dimension sheet, then this cash flow model also can use the account sheet. To build this cash flow model also, the accountant can use the same account sheet. It means this accounts sheet, this accounts dimension sheet can be used across the models. If they need, then they can use it across the models. Now, I give one name to this Excel sheet, that is, I'm saving this Excel sheet. Absent. I'm giving one name to this Excel sheet, absent. Save it, absent. So in this absent, what are the available? Income model is available, cash flow model is available, and some of the dimensions also available.
Hello?
Yeah. So this is the absent. Now, I will do it in reverse way. First, what I will do, I will give one name to this Excel sheet. Say forecast. I'm giving. So in this forecast, what models I want to maintain? I will rename it to income statement forecast.
Siva, I think your microphone is causing feedback.
Yeah, I think if all of us could just mute ourselves, it will be better because it also disturbs me when you respond aha all the time.
Siva, if you want to say something, just you unmute it, then after that you can mute it. Because from your end, I think it is, what you say, resounding is coming, of my voice especially.
Yeah, if you plug in headphones, then this problem won't be there. Because your speakers are producing sound which is picked up by your microphone again.
So here, what I am doing here is forecast. Income statement forecast I am building, and I can build balance sheet. So this kind of models I can build. But before building this one, first of all, I need some dimension sheets. So what I will do first I will start to build entity, then I build account, then I build time, I build currency, then I build some categorization of the data. So this, again, I have created some 5 dimensions. Of course, with the same name, suppose. In fact, if I want to build income statement, now I can build it. Why? Because already some data is available. Suppose if I maintain some data here, now I can build income statement. And I can build balance sheet also. I can build income statement and I can build balance sheet. Now, is it possible to get the data from entity data from the forecast to the another Excel sheet that is offset? In Excel sheet it is possible. Simply cut and paste or copy and paste. But in BPC system it is not possible. The dimensions here, whatever the dimensions we are using here, it can be shared across the applications within the app set. But these dimension sheets cannot be shared across the application sets. So simply I am telling, using the Excel sheets only. If you understand it, in BPC system, in fact, technically what we do, we maintain one application set. Simply it is a folder. App set itself is a folder. There we are maintaining some models. Before maintaining the models, what we are doing, we are maintaining dimensions. After that, grouping the dimensions, we are building the model. App set, dimensions, model. Then we know we must provide security for the model. If it is the income statement, then you have to write some business calculations like calculating the depreciation, calculating the net expenses, calculating the amortization expenses, calculating the COGS, calculating the COGM, and calculating the profit margin. If it is the equity method, what is its goodwill in terms of value? So these are all the business calculations. So these business calculations also maintained on the model. To do this kind of business calculations in BPC, we call it as the logic script. We know in the planning scenario, functionally, what we do, the cost center manager or under the cost center manager, suppose there are some divisional managers, these divisional owners, say some sales owners, they will submit their data to the cost center managers for the review purpose. This cost center manager, what he will do, if he is satisfied, he will submit this data to higher managers. So once he approves the plan scenario, then what they do, they close their planning session. They close their planning session means they will approve. Once they approve it, they will lock down the data set. So this thing also we can do using the BPC tool. To do this thing, there is a concept that is work status. We know this is the planning and consolidation tool. In the consolidation, to do the consolidation process, there are a lot of activities are involved, like currency conversion, account transformation, balance carry forward, intercompany eliminations, US eliminations, eliminations and adjustments, some consolidation methods, consolidation rules we have to define. These are all the stuff that are involved in the consolidation process. So these people have developed a concept that is the business rule, business rules. Using these business rule tables, simply you can work on the different kinds of consolidation functions that are required in the consolidation process. Now, we know to do the consolidation, suppose we have to maintain currency conversion process, we have to maintain balance carry forward, we have to validate the data, then do some intercompany elimination process, then do elimination adjustments, then finally do consolidation. So these are all the sequence of activities that are involved in the consolidation process. User may know or may not know of this sequence of activities. If he knows these are all the activities in the sequence, then it is fine, or otherwise we need to customize. These are all the activities in the sequential order. Then user simply click on the FX process, he will run that currency conversion, then he do the balance carry forward, then validate it, then he do the IC elimination. So to do this customization, there is a concept in BPC that is BPF, business process flow. Business process flow. In fact, these are all customizing of the planning application or consolidation application. To customize these all the objects in BPC, there is a client tool that is, we call it as admin client tool. Admin client tool. In BPC 10, it is the web based. In BPC 10, it is the web based admin client. Planning and consolidation administration part. So these are all the activities will come in planning and consolidation administration part. To generate the income statement, it means to do the income statement, what are the dimensions are required. To do the cash flow, what are the dimensions are required. What are the members we need to maintain, sir? What are the dimensions are required? What are the properties are required? What kind of security we need to provide to this income statement and cash flow? What are the business calculations are involved? What kind of approval mechanism we have to build? What are the business rule tables are required? Finally, what is the planning process? These are all comes under the admin client. But finally, you have to maintain the actuals or you have to maintain the plant data into the system. And you have to generate the reports also. Plant data, as I said, the plant data, they can simply enter the data through the input schedule or input form. They need one input form now. As I said, on the top of the BW, BPC sits. So through using the BPC interfaces, you have to send the data to the BW system. Using the BPC interfaces, we are not storing the data into the BPC system. That is very, very important thing. We never store any kind of data in the BPC system. Just the BPC is the user interface. Using this interface, we send the data to the BW system. BW backend queue that is connected to this model. Now, once we send the data to the BPC, again we have to retrieve the data in the particular format to show it in income statement model or in the cash flow model. For that purpose, these people have maintained one add in Excel. Add in Excel. These people have maintained add in Excel. In BPC 7.5, we call it as the Excel client. Here we call it as EPM add-in. In 10.0, we call it as EPM add-in. In 7.5 NetWeaver, in all the versions, lower versions, we call it as Excel client. In the EPM add-in, we take care of data management, reports, and input forms. In the EPM add-in, we take care of data management, report, and input forms. So two clients you can see. If it is a 7.5, you see two client tools that are installed in your desktop itself. You can connect from your desktop itself by clicking on the icon. You can connect it to the admin client or you can connect to the Excel client. The Excel client or EPM add-in, especially used for the data management and building the reports and building the input forms. Under the data management, you can run whatever the business calculations you want to execute, you can execute it. You can upload the master data, you can upload the transaction data. Those are the things comes under the data management. The input forms, just you can use it to enter the plant data into the backend corresponding info queue. So these two things generally we see in BPC system. And one more important feature in BPC 10, that is the consolidation monitor. Consolidation monitor. That is a great feature, in fact, in the BPC 10 they have included. In fact, this feature they have adapted from the SAP BCS system. In SAP BCS also, consolidation monitor is there. The same concept they have adapted from it and included into the BPC 10 version. So these are the technical things generally we set into the BPC so that we can generate the planning scenarios and of course we can generate consolidation systems, consolidation statements also. Yes, any doubts you have?
I had one doubt.
That's pretty good so far. That's pretty good so far.
Hi, Risiva. I was wondering if you can just explain me what is master data. What do you mean by master data? I mean, I understand dimensions. I understand dimension members, applications, right? But if you can just tell me what is the master data.
Yes, I will explain. Suppose let us take one best example, that is I will take one car. There I am maintaining different type of cars. Of course, in Maruti, there may be different type of cars. Just only I am taking one example here. So only I am taking one of Maruti. I am not considering all the types of it. Now, the salesperson will explain us its features or its properties. Suppose its weight, its length, specifications. There, leg space, mileage, the rest of the things. Suppose let us take color also. Only one object I am taking, color also I am taking. Here, I will maintain some 1.5, say some 30, let's say something, mileage some 25, like that I maintain some rate. So I maintain the data here for all the cars. Now, I am asking, which car is red color? So, what I do, simply select statement, or let us take a select statement. Which car is the red color? Simply you can say by looking at this color field, red, it is the Maruti, so we can say Maruti is the. Now, here, this one is in fact, you can say, basic member. You are describing this Maruti object. You are describing this Maruti object. You are assigning some properties to this Maruti object. It is your object. And these are all the properties of that object. Whether you maintain these properties or not, this is an object. There is a meaning of this object. Maruti, yes, this is a Maruti car. You don't need to give all the properties. If you want to say something of this Maruti, yes, you can say. So these are all the properties. No need to describe. If required, then you describe the object. Or otherwise, no need to describe. That's why what I am doing this one, Maruti is the basic member. Or simply I say that it is the basic characteristic value. If you want to say in the short, basic member. It is the basic member. And what about the rest of them? It's property values. It's property values. Weight is the property, length is the property, leg space is the property, mileage is the property, and color is the property of it. So these are all the property values. When I club this basic characteristic with its properties, then it is called master data. It is called master data. In simple way, I am explaining it. In the BW perspective, some more things I have to add. Once I start the sessions, then I will explain you few more concepts of the BW master data, like hierarchy table, like test table, some more things in the BW side. In general sense, this is the master data. Here, I will explain you what is the transaction data also, so that your doubt will be clear. Here, I am maintaining one record, the same records I am maintaining here, suppose. For sales, I am maintaining, suppose we go 200, 300, 400, so 3000, suppose. For sales. Now there is a meaning. How many Maruti cars you have sold? 200, you can simply. How many Maruti cars you have sold? You can say simply 200. So based on the Maruti, you are retrieving the data. If I maintain sales, what is the sales? There is no meaning. There is no meaning of sales. What is the sales? Even though you maintain the currency also, 200 USD, what is the 200 USD sales? There is no meaning. So to add something to this one, what something that is nothing but basic characteristic values. You are adding basic characteristic values to this sales. Then there is a meaning. This is called transaction data. This is called transaction data. The sales in BW perspective, it is called key figure. In BW perspective, it is called key figure. Core, it is called a characteristic. In BW perspective, core is a characteristic, sales is a key figure. When you combine the characteristic with the key figure, then there is a meaning of transaction data. Then you can post some transaction data. Even if you are not maintain sales, there is a meaning of Maruti. Yes, Maruti is a car. It is having some properties, you can say. Until and unless you combine your key figure with the characteristic, there is no meaning of key figure. Once you combine the key figure with the characteristic, then there is a meaning that you can post or you can load transaction data table. It means you are building a transaction data table, then you can maintain the transaction data. Even if I maintain here sales, here 200 I have maintained. Now, simple question. How many red color cars you have sold? How many red color cars you have sold? So what I am doing here, I am filtering the data. Suppose you maintain one hierarchy here. Now you maintain one hierarchy. Type suppose, say some gypsy itself, say auto, now red, here I am maintaining white, or here itself I am maintaining auto. Suppose only one record I have taken. Here I am maintaining like Maruti sales 200. What is this sales? What is this 200 Maruti? Total sales. Total sales of the Maruti car. It means irrespective of the color. But you want to aggregate. So you want to see the data in the detailed level. You want to see the data in the detailed level. Then you will write a query like how many cars of red color of Maruti sold. So detailed level you are asking. In that perspective, we use this property for the filtering of the data. For filtering of the data, we can use this property. In that perspective, generally, we maintain the properties for that particular object. That object is called basic characteristic, and its values are basic characteristic values. In BW perspective, I am talking. The car is the object, and whatever the values you are maintaining, so car is the characteristic, and rest of them under the car, whatever the values are there, basic characteristic values. These all the property values we call as the master data in BW perspective. Clear? Any doubts? No.
It's good.
Okay. Okay, today I'll stop the session. Anything you want to say? Anything you want to improve? Anything you want to improve?
Great. Thanks, Mesh. This is Raman. Just a couple of questions. One is if you have any handouts or study material that you can give out, something that we can read before the next session as well and to review. So if there is a reading assignment for every session, that will help. And if you have glossary of terms, because there are a lot of terms that there are special
Yes, especially
SAP and BPC, right?
Sure.
So glossary of terms will also help. And I'm assuming that going forward, you will have access to an SAP system where you show things, right?
Yeah, sure. In the next class itself, I will start working on BPC system.